Hello and welcome to Danielle's Denture Diary. I am Danielle. For those of you returning back to my channel, welcome back to another update on this channel. First, I wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone subscribing to my channel. I actually just hit over 100 subscribers, and the best part about that is it means that the awareness of the denture community is growing, and I hope that you are all thriving. I hope you're all feeling really great, and I hope that you guys have been finding comfort in the content that I've been providing, along with the other YouTubers that have been also putting their stories out there and helping people feel more comfortable with their situation, or maybe a loved one situation even. Or maybe you're just curious and you want to know more. And at any rate, I just wanted to say thank you. I also wanted to extend a thank you out to those of you who are commenting on my videos as well. I appreciate your honest feedback and criticism. I am going to be making sure I do a better job of editing going forward and being more aware of what my screen looks like as I go through, as well as those of you who are finding a moment to be comfortable enough on my channel to share how you're really feeling and to express where your concerns are, because it gives me a chance and others a chance to maybe offer you some feedback and how we can make the situation better together. But I just wanted to thank you real quick. I also want to put a quick disclaimer. There are going to be photos in this video that will include updates through more of my denture journey so far after day 10. One of those pictures is going to be showing the inside of my mouth and exposed bone. So if that is the kind of thing that you don't want to see, I will give an additional warning when I'm about to if you would like to watch the rest of the video. Otherwise, if that's the kind of thing that you want to avoid completely, feel free to go ahead and watch a different video. So, kind of summarizing day 1 through 10 for anyone that did not watch that video. Day 1 through 10 was basically covering my E-Day, covering the pain that I went through that same day, as well as talking about the immense swelling that had occurred and a lot of the questions that I was having in the beginning of my journey, as I believe most people do. People removed a lot of their teeth, all of their teeth, some of their teeth, and then they questioned, did I do the right thing? Was this for me? And I know that not everyone feels that way, but a lot of people do. For anyone who doesn't question it and they just feel solid in that decision, I admire you and I respect that so much. For me, it was still a question, and it tied into the last bit of that video was on self-worth. I challenged everyone watching that video to find your self-worth outside of things like your facial features or your teeth or lack of teeth, hair or lack of hair, things like that. Try to find other ways to attribute your worth as a human who is deserving of love, peace, and happiness. And love, of course. But at any rate, the reason why I had mentioned those two things is because growing up for me, I was born with a medical condition where I had no enamel whatsoever on my teeth, and the phrase being socially acceptable was thrown around a lot. And that was me as a child. So I equated teeth or not having teeth with being socially acceptable or not. And to, as an adult, now decide to remove my teeth and get dentures made me start playing on my mind a little bit on, am I now not socially acceptable? Am I more socially acceptable because I have dentures, or what's going on? So that was somewhat where I left off. For me, I ended up using fact-based knowledge to start working on my belief of self-worth. For example, I go to work and I trust my job, my peers and coworkers completely when they give me their feedback. And so far I've gotten pretty amazing feedback. I am very good at my job. They tell me that I'm a hard worker. There are numbers and statistics that show it and prove it, as well as other things as well. When I look at the statistics And I am relying on people who hired me for this job, and they're telling me, yes, you're doing amazing. Granted, I don't want to lean on people's word, but the statistics show I'm good at my job. I am a hard worker. I am always pushing my mind to grow and do better. Those are wonderful qualities to have in a human, I believe. So for me, that added into my idea of self-worth, and it being fact-based just made it that much easier and clearer for me to understand, because I need validation and reason behind why am I worthy. If that doesn't make sense to you, or if you find a different way of resolving that question, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. We're not going to think the same, but I would be curious to hear how other people see this question and how they would want to answer it. So by all means, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, for anyone who has been with my channel, watched previous videos, you're going to notice something different today. I am wearing my bottom denture. I'm going to touch on that more later on in the video, but I am finally wearing my bottom denture. Part of it is because of just hard-headedness and a little bit of gum shrinkage, a little bit, but not much, because I had another tooth pulled and some other things. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Don't worry. But I do apologize if I have to take a moment to breathe or kind of swallow or adjust a little bit. I do apologize, and I do thank you for your continued patience as I continue learning and adjusting how to talk and figure this out right here in front of you. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off. After day 10, I was very confident, very happy, very content, and on the road to building myself back up mentally and emotionally and allowing my body to heal. I was not wearing my bottom denture at all at the time because it hurt so much, and I was waiting to get an additional adjustment, as well as to get a soft reline and just let my gums kind of heal themselves. So that's where I was. On day 14, I had realized that I actually had exposed bone. So, quick warning here, I'm about to show that picture. Okay, I had exposed bone. And I didn't know what to do. I don't know. I expected it to happen. I anticipated it, but I wasn't prepared, if that makes sense. So I sent this picture to my surgeon and asked, what do I do from here? And he said, come in tomorrow, don't eat and drink, have a driver. So I assumed, okay, I'm going to have another procedure done. They're going to whoop, whoop on my bone, and it's going to be fine. Well, I went in the next day, and the appointment started off kind of weird as it is, because it felt very not like last time. Last time there was a whole preparation for the procedure, and they were talking to me about if, like, confirming did you eat and drink and all that stuff. And the person I was talking to, I told her, I was like, no, actually I'm here for bone filing, and she said, no, you're here for a follow-up. And I was like, okay, I'll talk to my surgeon when he comes in. No big deal. They did an x-ray, and I'm sitting in a regular dentist chair, not one of the surgery rooms, and the x-ray comes up on the screen. There's a tooth still in there. And I looked at the assistant and I was like, is that a tooth? And she said, yep, it looks like there's still a tooth in there. Let me go get the surgeon. I was so frustrated. I didn't act out or anything like that. I didn't complain. And the reason being, in the moment, I was trying to be understanding and compassionate that I myself am not a surgeon. I don't think I could handle doing surgery on anybody, cutting anyone open. I just don't think I have that in me. It takes a very different kind of human from myself to be able to do it and do it well. So I try to be compassionate and understanding that I don't know what happened. I was knocked out and asleep. So who knows? So my surgeon comes in and he starts shaking his head and he says, I don't understand how with four people in the room, we missed a tooth. Yeah, I guess I don't understand either. But again, I'm trying to just kind of stay calm and let's just have the bone filed back. To confirm it, he did obviously look inside my mouth. He ran his finger across the area that I was referring to, and then I showed him the other side, which felt like it was also starting to have the same thing happen. He looked and he said, yep, I agree. It looks like the same thing is happening on that side. And okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to schedule you to come in tomorrow. You told me not to eat or drink and to have a driver today. If I'm overreacting, please let me know and check me back. I'm very well aware that it could be the case, but I was a little frustrated. I was mentally ready to do this and get it done. Granted, not the tooth, but the bone filing at least, because it was starting to rub my tongue raw. He walked out of the room to let the assistant schedule me and confirm a time, and I broke down crying. I'm not gonna lie. I broke down crying, and it wasn't that I was scared of the procedure at this point. I know how easy it is to go to sleep, you wake up, it's done, basically. And the surgeon had such wonderful bedside manner. I didn't even feel the IV go into my arm that much, and I am a crybaby when it comes to needles. So, and that's ironic because I have tattoos, but neither here nor there. But I was crying because of the pain. I'm still healing. I felt like I was finally coming around that final corner of healing and getting used to this, and now you're gonna go back in and rip out another tooth. I was overwhelmed. I was not prepared for the idea of cutting into my gums again, and I just wasn't ready. So I hope this is no one else's experience. I really, really do. If it is, there is a plus side to it that I can see now looking back, but in the moment I was very frustrated and overwhelmed. So day 16 is my second surgery. Now, to review, I am here in this surgery to have this tooth back here taken out and have bone filed. The bone filing, I've heard, or so he says, it's not that much, it's not that hard, it's just a quick whoop whoop and you're done. This tooth back here had not ruptured my gum line. It was still buried deep. And that'll come into play here later on in the video, but this is what we're here to do. Take care of this and take care of that. Okay? Okay. So first thing that I'm noticing coming out from surgery was soreness from my tooth down into my neck here. I couldn't swallow. It hurt so bad to swallow spit or anything. And it hurt into my ear as well as the top of my head here. But those were more like shooting pain. It wouldn't stop hurting down into my neck. So that was kind of bleh. And outside of that, I didn't notice much else. Later on, I did notice that I actually had stitches, not only where this tooth was, but I had stitches here. I had stitches right here where my gums had buckled, I think is what it was called, which was a massive, very noticeable indent, and it was like black and blue, like really heavily bruised there. It was stitched up and filled in somehow. I don't know what he did. And then there was stitches on the outside of my gums here. Now, if you remember my photo, I'm going to post it up again right here in a second, so if you need to fast forward quick, go ahead. Look at this photo. Okay? This bone exposed is on the inside of my jaw, not the outside. So, okay, I don't know. Maybe he moved my gums and they're gonna, I don't know, whatever. I didn't want to, whatever. I let it go. Day 17, there was so much swelling. It was unreal. I had a golf ball right here. I'll have that photo up here too. I had a golf ball. It was insane and it hurt really badly. I couldn't lay on that side. Pardon me. Day 19, I went to an apple orchard with my son, and I felt very confident. I was very happy, very pleased, confident enough to at least take pictures smiling. Still not wearing my bottom denture because I was waiting on things to heal up and resolve themselves. I still hadn't really looked at anything. It takes me time to process and then I'll take a good look. It took me a couple days before I could really look at when my teeth were first extracted. So, you know, it is what it is. As long as I'm saltwater rinsing and things like that. And that same day on day 19, I also did that day 1 through 10 update video there. So that's when that happened. That's why I'm a full-blown chipmunk there. And then day 20, I was so much more confident. The swelling was going down noticeably. And I decided to kind of go ahead and look around and feel around what's going on. And I felt with my tongue, something feels familiar. So I look. My bone is still exposed. Again, I'm not a surgeon. I don't know the processes and procedures and how things are supposed to look when they're healing or anything like that. But it was still exposed completely. It didn't look any different. And I took an additional picture. If you're squeamish, quick warning, I'm going to show it. Took an additional picture. Pardon my whistling, by the way. I'm sorry. And I sent it to my surgeon. And I didn't send it with anger or anything else. I swear. I did basically say, hey, just wanted to let you know I still see exposed bone. Is this normal for the healing process since it just got filed? Am I waiting for the gums to move and shift, or what's the process here? What happened? All my surgeon sent back was, come in tomorrow. I started texting my best friend and I was wigging out. I'm not gonna lie. I was annoyed. Not mad yet, but I was annoyed because I just don't want to go back into that clinic. That clinic right now at this point means pain. And I just don't want to go back. And I need to go back to work. And we had already, with the tooth remaining, that follow-up appointment that I thought my surgery was going to be on. Now I'm seeing that there's still bone exposed. Like, what? I was told that the bone would be filed and then I'd be stitched up to have the gums pulled together there. That was my what I was told. That was the understanding. So you pulled the tooth. I have 4 spots of stitches all over my mouth that weren't discussed. I told you the 2 things that were supposed to happen. And now all you can say about my exposed bone is come in tomorrow. Again, if I'm overreacting, please check me back. I'm well aware that I could be. But I expected that part to be taken care of. Out of the 2 things I needed, that was one of them. And if it was missed, I'll move along. I'll move it along. Basically, I told him no. Something that he and an assistant had said previously is that exposed bone can allegedly heal itself. It can take care of itself or resolve itself. I don't remember the exact wording, but it can over time take care of itself. If it becomes painful or anything like that, then yes, you need to go get that taken care of. But otherwise, chances are it could take care of itself. So here's to hoping. Now, day 24, the swelling was mostly gone, and I was actually starting to realize that I've been taking pictures with my son and I'm smiling. I'm actually smiling. And it's dawning on me that I did it. I did it. This was what I was needing. This was one of the main reasons I wanted this done. Amongst many other reasons. For those of you who don't know, I swear that's not the only reason I got all my teeth yanked out of my head. Go back and watch the beginning of my denture journey, my very first video, and I promise you I explain it. But this was a milestone. I'm smiling in pictures with my son. Finally, and confidently. It was unreal to realize this. And I also had made an additional phone call to my dentist to have more adjustments done. Now, the reason why that comes up right now is because I had already gotten some adjustments done. The adjustments were made to the one side because they were digging into the outside, like my cheek area where my cheek meets my gums. And then I also needed the inside taken care of and adjusted because when I would lift my tongue muscles to eat, it was very painful and hurt. So I couldn't even mush food to eat. So by this time, by the way, I've managed to mush up a McDonald's cheeseburger, and that was a huge win for me. And that was without my bottom denture. That was just my top denture and my tongue. I was able to do that. Pancakes are a godsend, along with scrambled eggs, and add some salt. Oh, it was so great. So great. But pancakes right now are my favorite. So there's that. But what had happened was my dentist made the adjustments, and he had said, if I continue adjusting, there will be nothing left. And then he said two things that really bothered me. The first thing he had said is, you're going to have to deal with it. For anyone who's new to watching denture YouTube videos, most people that I've watched, adjustments are necessary in the beginning because you're healing and you have to be able to adjust and adapt with your shrinking gums, especially on the outside walls of your dentures, because over time it will start to hurt more and more the more they dig, and mine are digging. So telling me to just deal with it seemed very unrealistic. I need adjustments made in the beginning of my journey just like anybody else. So that felt very unfair to be told that. Because I need the whole outside right here adjusted. Right now it's digging down almost into my chin, it feels like. And then the second thing that he had said is, you can go without. You can go without your bottom denture. No one will notice, and most people do anyway. Anyone who's been watching my videos, I firmly believe that my dentist is amazing and my surgeon is amazing. But at this point, I'm kind of wondering, like, what happened? And some things that people have brought up in other videos are things like, oh, when you get dentures, you're no longer giving money to the dentist or whatever. And those are just alleged, those are personal opinions. No one actually knows why things change over time or people change or whatever. But it's starting to kind of weigh on my head. What if it's true? I don't want to believe it. I'm doing my best not to believe it until I have proof that that's what's happening. But it felt like it was bothersome that I needed these adjustments and that I want to wear my bottom denture. I didn't get all of my teeth pulled out of my face and a full set of beautiful dentures to not wear them. I want to wear them. I want to eat. I want to bite. I want to open my mouth and, like, you see your bottom, you see your mouth. I talk to people for a living. In case you didn't know or you didn't remember, I talk to people for a living. I am naturally an animated person. I have a lot of facial expressions because I want you to know I'm listening. And I'm not a flat person. I talk, I reciprocate, I'm empathetic. I mirror people. So for me not to like, or I don't know, like to limit facial expression so that you don't see that I don't have bottom teeth, that does not sound like a good time. And not to mention, when you're going through this, you don't need people in your corner saying, don't worry about it. Just don't do it. Settle for mediocre. That's what that sounds like to me. And I don't do mediocre. Do it or don't. Commit or don't. I got my dentures. I was fortunate enough because not everyone is. There are people who struggle to not only start the process due to mental blocks and things like that, or I don't know, maybe not knowing where to start. That's hard enough. Or there's people who have to pay quadruple what other people pay, or there's people who don't have a job but they need this, or there's so many different situations and reasons why people don't get a chance to get this done, and I finally got it done. I want to wear it. Why is it so hard to ask a dentist to stand in your corner and say, you want to do this? Let's do this. You tell me what I need, or you tell me what you need, and I'll tell you what I need, and we're going to make this work. We're going to figure this out together. I would think that that's what any physician or dentist or surgeon or whoever would say. I would think, if I'm wrong, leave a comment, tell me your thoughts, help me grow as a person if this is one of those moments. But that's how I'm feeling right now, is like, that was a very defeating thing to hear. Just deal with it. Don't wear it. No. And as you can see, I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll move on. I'm sorry. I'll move on. I went on a tangent there for a second, but does that make sense though? Like, how would you feel if you got this done, or you're going to get this done, with the intentions, I would assume, to wear your dentures, and then have someone tell you, don't worry about it? Where does your mind go? Would you push yourself to say, no, I'm not settling for that? I'm gonna figure it out. Would you be able to dismiss that idea? Or would you, I don't know, find different people to surround yourself with? Because I want to surround myself with people who are like, you're gonna get through this and you can do it. We will figure it out. That's what I need in my corner right now. So, anyways, let me know in the comments. So, day 25, I went back to work. I went back to work, and it was after so much compassion and understanding behind where I'm at this point and what I've been through. Having another tooth pulled, having the exposed bones still there. Very, very understanding. So I only did a half day that day, and I'm glad that I did. Again, I'm not one to typically tiptoe around something. I'm either going to go all in or I'm not. my team actually requested that I only do a half day to see how it goes. And I'm glad that I did, because I did get very sore. I did get very tired and fatigued. And talking for a long length of time is still somewhat difficult for me. I realize that I'm running on 30 minutes now, by the way, but it's still difficult, and it's a lot of energy to do, which is why I practice here. And at the same time, I'm trying to benefit you guys as well. But at any rate, it felt so good. It felt so good to go into work, and first thing was, hey, was smiling. And this tooth wasn't popping out. This tooth wasn't popping out. I didn't have a fake bridge white piece of plastic thing right here. It's all like teeth. And my team member had seen, and she was like, you look so good, and you look radiant and vibrant now, like you're actually smiling, like wholeheartedly smiling. And it was fantastic. And there was no fear of my teeth flying out. Reference that first video if you don't know what I'm talking about. There was a lot of issues going on. But at any rate, it was a good day. It felt good to be back. And the clients that I'm used to hanging out with and talking to, they all came into my office to say hi. Granted, it was just an email day for me because it was just to kind of bring me back into it. But it was so great. It was so nice. I missed it. Which brings me to today. Today is day 26. I actually was invited out with some friends, and my best friend was one of them, and she was the one who wanted me to kind of get out of the house and hang out. And she is one of those people to understand my mentality of not settling for mediocre, not settling for less. She knows about my journey so far. I text her all the time about it. And I decided today I'm going to make myself wear my bottom denture. And the reason I wanted to do it is because I'm afraid that my gums will continue to shrink tremendously if I don't start stimulating them with a denture. My gums are going to start growing, coming back and healing the way they want to, and I don't want that. Something that I've learned is that if you don't have the structure of the acrylic helping form your gums as they heal, the harder it's going to be later on to wear your denture, because your gums did not heal into the shape of the inside of your denture, if that makes sense. How true it is, I don't know. This is, after all, my first go around at getting dentures and healing from extractions. Second, I guess now. Hopefully no more. But I don't want to take the chance, and I want to wear them. Going into work was kind of frustrating because I wasn't wearing my bottom. I know nobody really notices, and I appreciate that so much. But again, I don't want half a smile. I want all my teeth in my head, because they are beautiful and I want to wear them. I want to. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And if I have to take them out at some point because I'm in excruciating pain again, I'll take them out. But I really do want to do it. And right now, as we speak, it is now 10:06 p.m. I've been wearing them since about 10 or 11 this morning. My bottoms, that is. And they are sore, I'm not gonna lie. They do hurt right now. I'm excited to take them out. But I'm gonna say today was a win, because I still wore them the entire time. Eating was very painful. I did keep ibuprofen on hand, just to kind of help me manage the pain if needed, which I only ended up taking ibuprofen around the time that I came home. But other than that, it was tolerable. I'm still proud of myself for wearing them. So yeah, Getting used to biting is still a thing, as well as smiling. When I smile like my natural old way of smiling, I do expose bone. I realize that my top lip curls right now when it actually goes into my denture, so it looks weird right now. But when I used to smile, I smile big and I show my whole mouth. That's how I used to smile back when. Then it turned into a but now I need to like learn how to smile, not less, but more controlled and concise, which I don't mind. I'm okay with it. It's just another part of the process. And getting used to now with my bottom denture, the talking and this, that's kind of new for me, the actual connecting and clicking. So there's that. Now going forward, I'm still only eating very soft foods that are manageable. If I need to swallow it whole, that's my plan B. So anything that I cannot risk swallowing whole, such as spaghetti, I'm not taking chances with that yet. But I will eat, like lasagna was also really amazing to have with a lot of cheese. Oh my gosh. Cut it up and just go. Oh man, it's so great. But like I said, pancakes right now are my favorite. I've been eating pancakes at least twice a day, almost every day. And then also reviewing so far as keeping my top denture in. So those of you who don't know, when you're healing from your open sockets, you don't want to put adhesives where those spots are still healing. You only want to put adhesive where you're healed or completely closed off, which in my case means the actual palate or the roof of your mouth part of your denture. So I was using Fixodent Ultra Hold Max to start off with because this one has had the most consistent good reviews. I also got myself the Fixodent Scope because I do love the taste of mint and I just really wanted that taste. I did try both on my palate. The Scope came out for me very watery and didn't hold very well. My Fixodent Ultra Hold Max though is still phenomenal and amazing. And then when it comes to securing my bottoms, for the most part, they stay secure by themselves, especially since my gums are still somewhat swollen, I think. And because of the way they've been healing, they're just holding my denture in very nicely. Granted, very sore. But I had actually taken gauze as well to put over where that exposed bone is for now. Because I do find that when I have gauze that sits over the exposed bone, it tends to feel a lot better and less sore. But otherwise, that's about it. That's about it. Next week, I'm going to be going back to work, I believe, more often. So I do apologize if my videos become more and more sporadic in terms of how often I upload. I'm going to stay as consistent as possible. For my next video, I'm not sure what I want to do next yet, but if you do have any recommendations, any requests that you would like to make, please leave it in a comment below. I will also go ahead and close this video off now at this point. I realize I'm about to hit 40 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you. If you did like this video and you like this kind of content from me, please hit that like button. And if you would like to see more videos from me in the future, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Talk to you later.